Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of The Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys swinging by for today's episode. And guys, today we're going to be talking about this topwater category called the pencil popper. You may or may not be familiar with this. This is a very unique situational topwater lure that it's got sort of a cult following, man. The people that use these pencil poppers, they swear by them, and there's been a lot of tournaments won on them, especially this time of year in sort of that May, June time frame. So we're going to talk about this bait, give you guys some tips and advice on how to fish it in today's episode. Also, guys, just a quick invitation. I'd like to invite everybody to please consider hitting that subscribe button here to The Fishing Teacher. We're getting real close to hitting that 20,000 subscriber mark. That'd be appreciated. And also, guys, please, in the description of my video, check out my Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns that I built for Fish the Moment. And we got all the sales going on my Solar Bat Signature Series sunglasses. So I'll put all those links in the description if you guys want to get you a lake map breakdown or some glasses there. Really appreciate that. Okay, guys, if you're not familiar with this, this is the pencil popper style of lure. Now, it's sort of like a weird looking bait. It looks sort of like a saltwater deal. It doesn't really look like anything that you use for bass fishing. But guys, under the right situation, there's not a better bait than this. Now, the difference in this from other topwaters is the profile of the bait and the action, what it has. Now, a pencil popper here, when you first look at it, you say, what does that thing do in the water? how's it look in the water? But a pencil popper, it works like a spook, sort of like that, but at the same time, with this concave nose on it, it sort of pushes water forward. So when you're working it through the water like that, it's sort of like it's sloshing like a spook, yet it's pushing water. So it creates a different type of disturbance in the water. And this disturbance that it has between the walking, slashing, and the rattles in it, and it's pushing water, it's creating a lot of ruckus, a lot of commotion, and it brings in fish from a long way away. And that's the key on this bait. This is designed to fish open water where you want to try to draw those fish in from a long distance away. So let's talk a little bit about the conditions when it works good. Now, this bait first gained fame like in the blueback herring lakes. Like all the guys that fish like Lake Hartwell, Lake Murray, some maybe Lake Lanier, places where there's blueback herring, people have been using a pencil popper for years because when those herring are schooling and spawning and that type of thing, there's something about this bait that works really good for herring fish, especially for spotted bass. But after people started having success on this thing, they started utilizing it in threadfin and gizzard shad lakes. So this thing is basically getting used all over the country, you know, regardless of the bait fish that you have. But for whatever reason it is, it's like any other lure category that you have, they're situational. And the situation for this particular bait, the pencil popper, is May and June. And also, guys, I'll link my pencil popper link and my tackle warehouse link in the description. If you guys would like to pick one up, you can use that link after the video here. That'd be much appreciated using that link. But this is the time frame. From now over the next month, time of filming this video, we're in the third week of May almost. So you got about another month where this is going to work good. Okay, so let's talk about what you have to have in order for this to work. Number one, you're going to have some clean water. Now, you got to, in my opinion, for a pencil popper to be effective, you got to have at least 3 foot of visibility. Preferably, I like 4 foot of visibility or more, because the cleaner the water that you have, the greater distance that this bait is going to pull fish up or away or from whatever direction. And that is why this bait is really, really good on blueback herring lakes, because a lot of times those blueback herrings are open water roamers, and that's what these fish do that eat those bluebacks. They chase open water areas. So this bait is an outstanding schooling fish bait. So if you got, you know, fish schooling in May and June, and you've got some, you know, where you're seeing them busting the surface, guys, there's not a better lure than a pencil popper. It will, if you can put this thing on top of them, it'll catch them. So prime example is Lake Hartwell. A lot of you guys probably have fished Lake Hartwell, but if you haven't, Lake Hartwell has got a good mix of both largemouth and spotted bass, and it's got clear water and it's got blueback herring, and this is perfectly suited for that type of lake. But if you don't have blueback herring, like we don't have here in the Ozarks where I live, or say if you live in Tennessee or Kentucky or Alabama, as long as you have that clear water, you're still going to be able to catch them on this thing. So anyway, what you want to look for is on the lake that you're fishing, try to find the cleanest portion of the lake. It doesn't really make any difference where it's at. If you're fishing Smith Lake in Alabama, go down by the dam. If you're fishing Lake Lanier in Georgia, go down by the dam. My lakes, California, it doesn't really matter. Get into that clear water and get out there on those big main lake and secondary points. The ones that are flatter are better. The ones that go way out in the lake, you're not really looking for a drop. These fish during the post-spawn in the early summertime, they relate in and around to these points. Now, it doesn't have to be a specific type of point. I prefer a flatter point because a flatter point gives you a broader area for these fish to use. And normally what happens, if you have a long flat point that you're running out into the lake, these fish will relate to that point and they use it every depth. They use it from the surface all the way down to 30 or 40 feet. And these are great places for those fish to school at. Long flat points in the month of May and June are perfect schooling areas. Those fish that live on those points, there may be some fish living on the bottom in 5 to 10, 15 feet of water. There may be some fish that are suspended out deeper off the end of the point. There may be some fish on the bottom out off the end of the point. But if you have that clear water, and let's say you got a nice big long main lake point, you may have 5 or 10 bass in 5 foot of water on that point. You may have a school of fish, like a 50 fish school out in 25 or 30, and then you may have some isolated pods of bass just swimming in and around that point, just looking for shad. When you throw this pencil popper out there on those points, it'll pull those fish from every single direction, especially on a calm day. Now, you don't have to have a calm day. You can catch them on a chop with this thing because it really, displaces a lot of water, but I prefer to have some type of a low light, cloudy, calm day. You don't have to have the clouds though. It just makes the fish a little bit more aggressive to bite. If it's sunny, they'll still come up and hit it, but they're a little bit more finicky with it. Also, guys, this thing works really good on all those northern smallmouth lakes. So if you guys fish any of the Great Lakes, those big lakes like Champlain and Oneida and Mille Lacs and that type of deal, throwing these big pencil poppers out of those main lake rocky grassy flats, those big smallmouth will annihilate this thing. Now, I like to work this thing pretty fast. So what I like to do is you're working the thing pretty much like a Zara spook. So I work it sort of like I do the same with the spook. I'll throw it out there and I'll reel it across the surface like that real fast. Not trying to get any action, but I'm trying to just get it going all crazy, and then I'll stop it like I do the spook sometimes. And once I stop it, then I'm working at a fairly fast pace like that. I'm not like boom, twitch, 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 twitch like you do on a spook. I'm a boom, 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 boom. I'm just keeping it going really fast across the water like that. Now, what I'm wanting to do with this is I'm trying to create a reaction strike in that clear water, in the deep water, where if there's a bass down there 20 or 30 foot deep underneath this thing's moving so fast and it's creating so much ruckus, it's gonna have that fish come up out of 25 or 30 foot of water and hammer this thing. But guys, it is just a really, really unique bait. For whatever reason, I don't know what it is, I can't catch hardly anything on these pencil poppers other than the months of May and June. I've tried them in different times of the year. I've heard guys catching some fish on them, fishing them shallower, like around objects, like lay downs and stuff. I've never done any good like that. For me, it's all about fishing them on points in May and June, clear water. You get those situations out there, it's going to be a really good way to catch some big fish. So anyway, guys, I'll link pencil popper link in the description of the video if you guys want to get you some. Hope it helps you guys catch some nice fish. We'll talk later.